The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 98 of The Daily Mother Swole. Could have added a sound effect to have it do that, but I like going manual. I don't trust anything but myself. I don't trust anything but these gains. Episode 98, we're going into you eat what? You eat what? What do you eat? How much do you eat? How much do you have to eat? Really, that's what we're doing. How much do you really have to eat to get size? How much do you really have to bulk up? Let's talk about calories. Let's talk about what it feels like. Let's talk about what you really have to do. The body wants to maintain. First off, the body wants to maintain. The body doesn't want to do anything. The body doesn't want to lose weight. The body certainly doesn't want to gain and build muscle. Think about how easy it is to tear down a house and do demolition, and think about how much more challenging it is to build a building, to do the blueprints, to assemble the team, to do all the architecture, to do the physics, to lay the foundation, to blah, 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 blah. You know how long it takes relative to just taking a wrecking ball, getting a permit from the city and smashing the shit out of it and then cleaning up the mess. It's easy in comparison. It's easy in comparison to tear something down than it is to build it. And I'm sure everyone can agree you can light a match to a painting, but to actually paint that painting is going to take a lot more time. I think we can all easily agree on that. So to build is a challenge. To build is a challenge, and it's an adaptation. You have to force your body to want to adapt. So when you're eating food, you have to consume more calories than you would eat to maintain. You're breaking down your muscle tissue. You want to build, but at the same time, most of us, the difference between lean bulking and dirty bulking is how much fat you're going to put on, because you're going to have to eat more calories than you're utilizing in the gym, than you're utilizing to maintain your structures as is. You're going to have to eat extra. You're going to have to technically overeat. Now, you don't have to overeat thousands and thousands of calories. Everyone's different, of course, but you can overeat maybe 500 to 1,000 calories and put on minimal body fat. You will put on some body fat. If you're bulking, you can't necessarily, unless you're taking anabolic steroids, you're not going to bulk while getting leaner at the same time. Unless you're a complete newbie to exercise, you're not going to do a lot of recomposition where you gain muscle and lose fat. Once you've kind of hit that, you've been in the gym for a while, you've seen some change, you've kind of maintained like where I'm at. If I really want to bulk, it's more along the lines of, you're going to put on a little bit of fat when you're bulking, chances are. It's very hard otherwise. And if I wanted to lose weight, you're going to lose a little bit of muscle. It's just what the body does. The body focuses on certain things. That's going into some of the periscopes I've been doing last night, the Gains After Dark shows. If you guys have been watching those, that's like a little Q&A roundtable type stuff I do at night where we just shoot the shit. We talk about anything. And that's what we talk about when these guys are getting lean and shredded, low carb, no carb, and they're pumped and full. That's what anabolics do. It gives you the fullness. It gives you that hardness that you don't normally have when you're dropping carbs, when you're doing extreme dieting. That's not normal for the body to look pumped, full, and shredded. It's not natural. That's why it's all juice, okay? Because some people were not believing, well, can you get this big without it? Can you get this big without it? No, you can't look like that without it, because it's just very, very... you're going to look flat. You're going to look flat if you go without carbohydrates. So anyway, that kind of fullness is the fullness from eating is your body telling you that it's good, it's maintaining, it's happy with what it ate, it's good where it is. That fullness is not a good gauge throughout the day. When you eat throughout the day, the body will tell you when it's had enough to maintain. There's a delayed hormone response, understand that. About 10, 15 minutes from when you're eating to when those hormones circulate back to the brain, letting you know that you've had enough food. That's why people generally overeat when they're eating fast food or pizza or candy, things that absorb quickly, things that don't have a lot of nutritional value. You'll overeat because by the time your body relays hormones through the blood system that your body's full, you've already eaten too much more in that next 15, 20 minutes. That's why when you're like, I'm really hungry, let me get another piece of pizza, and you eat, that's why you continuously get full and full after you're done eating 10, 15 minutes later, because those hormones that are released telling you that you're way over full don't get back to the brain. There's a delay. So you've already eaten too much more because you're just like, ooh, the taste is good. And by the time you're done, you get full. And you start feeling that extra stretch in the stomach and you feel sick afterwards. And that's why it gets worse and worse 10, 15, 20 minutes after you're done eating, because your body is finally relaying that information. There's a delay there. So if you eat too much, then you need to maintain to rebuild. You're going to put on fat. The way to get in all these calories, because you're going to be getting in 500, 1,000 extra calories a day, is not just to fucking pound it all at one time. It's to spread it out. It's much better to spread this out throughout the entire day because, one, you'll put on less fat because you're going to be keeping your insulin at more regulated levels. That steady release of food into the body. I know about intermittent fasting. I've tried it. I don't really like it. I like a more consistent input of calories. I got my bulletproof coffee. I got my smaller meals throughout the day. I like that consistent release of calories throughout the day. I feel it's much more effective for me to feel full, to look full, to stay lean, to build muscle. I feel like that's the best for me. You're going to have to figure out what works best for you. But throughout the entire day, you won't feel overstuffed because you're spreading out all those calories throughout 4 or 5 or 6 meals. So if you take 3,000 calories and try to eat that in one meal, you're going to feel stuffed, sluggish, and your stomach's going to explode. Not to mention, you can only digest so many nutrients at one time. If you split that 3,000 calories up over 6 meals, you get 500 calories a meal. All of a sudden, it becomes very obtainable. If you start eating small meals frequently, you're going to feel full at first because your body is not used to processing that many nutrients. So you're going to have to force your body to get used to eating frequency, to get more frequent meals. Let me take a question. Would the bulletproof coffee be the same during intermittent fasting as calories from butter? I mean, that's just called bulletproof fasting. You're not getting carbohydrates. You're just doing fat. You're doing high fat. So you're really doing kind of like a carbohydrate fast rather than a real total calorie fast. I'm not a huge fan of the intermittent fasting personally. I don't feel bad on it. I don't feel sick on it. I usually don't eat my first meal until around this time or 1 o'clock because I usually don't wake up until a little bit later, depending on my work, depending on what I'm doing, because I'm always also up late editing videos, so my schedule's a little bit different, a little bit off. But yeah, so it's better off you spread the meals out throughout, because if you just kind of pound them all at one time, it's going to be hard for your body to process nutrients. And also, that delayed fullness, the smaller frequent meals, remember, everyone's different. So intermittent fasting can be a dangerous thing because people will tend to overeat. Most people have eating disorders, and not that they're bulimics or they're anorexics, but eating disorder in the sense that you can't control those cravings. You can't control those cravings. So in the evening, by the time you're finally available to eat, all of a sudden you're going to binge and you're just going to pound food and you're going to end up eating too much. So what seems like, I'm not eating throughout the day, I could eat more at night, or I could eat the same at night, you'll end up like overeating at night, and then it becomes a worse habit for losing weight or for building muscle. Right now we're talking about bulking. So you're going to feel full, you're going to have to eat anyway. You have to train your body. You have to train your body. Says you, I'm proof it does, lose fat and gain strength. Okay, yeah, exactly, says me. Absolutely. If you did that, if you lost weight and gained strength, did you gain muscle? Did you measure it? Did you measure your weight? Did you do body composition? Are you sure you gained muscle? If you did you underwater weighing? Oh, I'm just saying. So for example, that's devil's advocate. You got pics. Do you have measurements? Because pics can be deceiving. I'm just saying, so like underwater weighing, DEXA scans, do you know if you really put on weight, muscle mass? Do you know if you really put on muscle mass and lost fat? Do you know if you recomped? Do you know? I mean, I'm just saying those are, technically, you don't know unless you do those things. But if you feel good and you have results and you're happy with it, that's great. That's fantastic. That's really what it comes down to. If you're happy with it, if you're pleased, and if you're on the right track. If you're getting where you're going and you're happy, boom. Remember, we always say, your life, you're happy, you did it, good. You know your body better than anyone else. You never gain muscle from fasting. I wouldn't necessarily say that either. It depends on how many calories you're eating. You can fast. You're talking intermittent fasting. You could fast and then eat a lot of food, and it's possible you can gain muscle. Why not? But again, everyone's different. So you could try it. Here's the thing with intermittent fasting. I kind of like it because it lets me focus on other things. I don't have to focus on eating. I can get used to not eating throughout the day and just, focus on my work, focus on my, on my video editing and blah, blah, blah. But what I find is I just get flat. Even if I eat a ton of carbs at night, like, from a certain time frame, I just feel like I don't resaturate. I feel like I don't get that pump. I don't get that fullness. Yeah, but it's like fuel. It's like, are you filling up your gas tank in your car every 2 hours during the day if you're driving, or do you fill it once a day? You fill up your tank and then you drive until it's almost empty and then you fill it up again. So, I mean, that's what people normally do, and that's not bad for the car. So you have to find out what works for you. Bottom line, if things are not working, you can try different things. But if you find, like for me, I like eating more regularly, that's me. I like that. I don't like to wait to eat. If I don't feel hungry in the morning, I don't eat. If I feel hungry, I'll eat. So if I don't feel hungry till 4 o'clock, I won't eat. But right now, after this, I want to eat something because I do want to work out this afternoon, and I don't want to do a fast before I work out because I want to get a really good pump. I want to feel strong. I feel good. So, yeah, that's what I've done my whole life. That's generally what I've done to gain, to bulk up. So that every 2 or 3 hours, the regular calorie intake, that's worked for me. I like that. I like that personally, but you can always try these other things. Just be aware because intermittent fasting could cause binging. It could cause overeating because you are essentially starving yourself until a small period of time where you're going to try to make up calories. And chances are if you have an addictive personality, if you have that rebound personality, you very much so have a tendency to overeat in that window. And it could actually be a negative. It could actually be let's say a working against. It could be going against the grain. It could be going against the flow. So, everyone's different. I know people that have had amazing results with intermittent fasting. I know people that have had amazing results with doing ketosis, losing weight. I know people that have seen amazing results just doing the every 3 hours. So there's different options. That's a great thing. The only thing you have to do is pick one, stick to it, and see results. If you want one that's more guaranteed to be able to stick to and to see change, that would be the protein, carbs, and fat, depending on the ratios, depending on what your goals are on a more frequent basis, but total caloric intake. If you're trying to bulk up, which is what this is about, this is not about losing weight, it's about bulking and building. You're going to have to eat when you're full. You're going to have to eat more than you're supposed to, so you're going to feel full. Every 3 hours is pretty arbitrary. 2 hours, 2.5, 3, 4, depends on how long you're awake. It depends on your system. 3 hours is not necessarily cut in stone. But this is about bulking up. You're going to eat when you're full. You're going to feel full when you're eating, and you're going to have to eat because it's time to eat. Bottom line, you're going to have to eat when it's time to eat. You're going to eat even though you feel full, especially when you first start eating more frequently. Even if you're not eating a lot every meal, your body is not used to your hormone profile and your insulin response, and your stomach is not used to receiving food that frequently. So you're going to feel full even if you're having a couple crackers every 2 hours. But you need to make sure that you eat your meal because it's time to eat, set a timer, and eat because it's time to eat, and your body will adapt and it'll shuttle food in and out quicker. You get used to eating more frequently, and you'll be able to pack on those calories over the course of the day and keep your insulin levels more nominal. You'll be able to keep your insulin levels at a lower level. You'll be less prone to storing body fat, and you will see some great results, in my opinion, because I saw great results doing exactly just that. So to bulk up, smaller meals, more frequently, eat. You're going to feel full. Track your calories. If you're not gaining, you're not eating enough, increase every meal a couple hundred, 100 calories or 50 calories. But keep track. The best thing to do when you're first starting fitness and eating is to track. That way you know what you're doing. And then once you get to my level, you could be a little more ballpark and have an idea because you know your body. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 98 of the Daily Mother Swole. Tomorrow, I'll see you for episode 99, and we'll get into some more good shit. Make sure that everyone that's on here, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, right now when I sign off, videos are going online. There's a lot of material on my YouTube channel that I just posted. I just posted another raw video just now before we signed on for Daily Swole. So hook it up. Make sure when you sign off, when I end this broadcast, go to youtube.com/Swolenormous. Click subscribe because I want you here. If you like this material and much more goes right on my YouTube channel, from motivation to my personal daily vlogs with what I'm eating and how I'm training, my exercise videos, all of it is on my YouTube channel. So check that out. You absolutely have to sign up. Got 350 videos of awesomeness and about 3 or 4 more every fucking day. So you don't want to miss that. I will see everyone tomorrow at 12 noon each time for episode 99 of the DS. I'll see you then. Have a great Friday. Flex it out. Check out my Periscope live workout today in an hour or probably like a couple hours for arm day. All right. Peace out. See you tomorrow.
brother.